The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Carson-Newman splits with Coker after a big sixth inning that takes game 2 for the Eagles with Coach Tom Griffin and Michael Watching for the Eagles Sports Network. And Coach, tough first game, but you bounce back. Good pitching battle there in game number 2, and then your offense comes through. And in the 6th inning, Matt Bradley retires the final 11 of the game. What do you see from how your team responded after game 1 to take game 2 here?
I want to remind myself how grateful I am to do what I do. I thank God for this opportunity. I know you hear that a lot, Mike, but it's got to be said because, man, there's so many things that can happen from day to day, and I've got to realize that this is one of the God has blessed me to be here at this university and be able to coach and be around these guys. So that's first and foremost. And I can't forget that, and I got to remind myself of that. And the guys responded tremendously against Coker, a team that came in and did a phenomenal job. Bob and his staff did a great job having their guys ready to play. They came out, they punched right away, they kept piling on us. And then we had to respond game 2, and Matt Bradley was really good on the mound. And like you said, got there late in the game. There's 21 outs in this 7-inning game, and so you want to make sure you're competing all of them. And thankfully, Carpenter's big hit, Luke Goforth. Man, I saw a wrestler last night at Colgate. Did you see the NCAA championship? 2-time national champ, and he won his semifinal match. And greatest interview ever. He comes off the mat in their interview, and he ain't happy. He ain't happy with his performance. Even though he says, I'm the better wrestler, that's why I won, I'm just not happy with my performance, got out of my sync, and they said, hey, what do you got to do tomorrow to be ready? And he made a comment that just is the truth. You got to have some backbone. He used another word, but that's what it is. And you know what? Luke Goforth has that. He's a competitor. He is, and I'm telling you, there's something in the DNA in certain guys that gravitate towards big moments. They know it's a big moment, and they get, I don't know what the secretion might be in the body, and gets the mind to think better. I don't know what it is, but there's something that's secreted in the brain that gets you to focus better, and those guys perform. The Michael Jordans of the world, all that. I don't know what it is. I'll look it up.
Well, we talked about pitching. You talked about Matt Bradley's performance. How does a performance like that need to be emulated throughout the rest of the group out there? Because he gives up a home run. You guys are down 3-2. I'm sure he's not very happy about it. And then what's he do? 11 straight to end the game. How do you emulate that with the rest of your staff?
How? How, Mike? How do you do? You've watched a lot of baseball. Who knows? It's each individual's got to handle the moments. Each individual has to do the preparation during the week, not only physically but mentally, to get ready for their opportunity out there. Then they've got to have the awareness, which is knowing their strengths and weaknesses, the opponent's strengths and weakness, the situation of the game, and allow their training to come through. And then it's the readiness between pitches to focus on that pitch and not allow something to happen to basically affect your performance. You can't let your mood and actions out here dictate how you're going to perform. And that happens sometimes. And yeah, there was a big home run hit, and bang, was able to keep it right there. And I think the conditions, Mike, helped to realize that, hey, this thing ain't going to be over for either side. Anything can happen. The way the wind was blowing out of here, like Candlestick Park. You remember that with the old San Francisco Giants, Candlestick Park? Wind blew out all the time. In fact, the guy got a balk one time on the mound. The wind blew so hard it gave him a balk. That's a true story. So Matt is doing that. Yeah, the other guys need to. I talked to Mason Moon. He performs well during the week, but on the mound, he's got to learn how to shut some things off and be able to trust his training. And then sometimes you got to have that self-talk, like, I'm the man. I'm the man. This is my game right here. Versus well, I hope I can do this. That's each individual has to figure out that self-talk and the visualization for them to perform. Because they've done it before. And everyone goes through these little slumps and goes through these little... We got to get out of that. If we want to compete each game, we got some guys that have to step up and get out of that.
Talk about guys stepping up. Well, let's talk about your lineup, because you've had to do a lot of shuffling. There's been injuries in and out there with their variety of situations. But Luke Goforth, you just talked about him. Well, how about Andrew Carpenter? You put him into the leadoff spot. He comes up with a clutch two-run single there as well. How important is it right now for your group to take a performance like this, to take what you've done all week, because you've won 5 of your last 6 now, to be able to utilize that as you go through these next few weeks?
great. We've got to mix it up because of the injuries we're having. We're dealing with injuries. We got to get Henry Jackson back because he's one of those spark plugs, man, that gets you going. And we got to get that back in the lineup. But Carpenter's done a really good job right there. And guys have filled in. Spencer Williams down at Lee did a great job. Spencer Bright behind the dish has done a good job. That's why you prepare all your guys, because their opportunities are going to come up. So it's good to see them do as well as they're doing. My thing is I want to get some of those veteran guys who've had really good careers here. I want them to end on a good note. I don't care the wins and what. I just want it for them to have good performances because they've invested the time in you. It's like your kids. You want to see them do well. When they don't do well, you're disappointed, and you want to figure out why they're not doing well. We're doing so well on the road. I honestly thought about getting a bus, having them pick us up, take us around Jeff County, go to Walmart, come back around, drop us off, and like, hey, boys, got an away game today because we seem to be doing all right with that. Well, I don't know why that is, but it was good to get this game today. So we celebrate it. We get a good night's rest, chapel tomorrow, and then it's a new day. Next pitch, here we go.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck tomorrow.
Enjoy the games tonight.
Well, he's Coach Tom Griffin. I'm Michael Watching for the Eagle Sports Network.